call me Mimir, smartest man alive, and I have the answer to your every question.
So guys, a new Terminator game was released recently, and I heard it wasn't that great. I also heard it wasn't too bad either. Just a basic run-of-the-mill action shooter with Terminators that look easy to defeat. And that's one thing with Terminator games, it's all about the action, fast-paced gameplay and pure adrenaline-filled set pieces. But what about making a Terminator game the right way? Future war, where the Terminators are terrifying, where you need to stay hidden and choose your action wisely. Well guys, I think I found the Terminator game. The one that every fan needs to support and check out for themselves. This is TechCom 2029, a fan-made Terminator game. Now it was recently called Terminator Los Angeles Resistance, but due to the recent Terminator Resistance game coming out, you can understand why they had to change it for now. Like I said, this Terminator game is fan-made and it's already becoming one of my favourites. This has got to be the most authentic and most faithful video game adaptation of Terminator I've ever played, by a mile. One that really shows you the brutal reality of the future war against the machines. By the way, before I keep going, you can see that the cyborg in the menu isn't exactly a T-800. Right now, that's just a placeholder, and it will be changed to a T-800 in due time. This is still in its early build, but the good news is that all of the other enemies and additions you see are the real deal. So let's take a look. In this demo, you play as Kyle Reese, and your mission is to find two important items and destroy one of the tank HKs that's out on patrol. The two items you need to find is a CPU chip and a photograph of Sarah Connor. Once you collect your weapons, you head outside and you're instantly thrown into the danger, as the HKs are flying around searching for you. As soon as I left the base and I looked outside, I was totally blown away with the detail. In this one area, these guys have managed to capture the true feeling of James Cameron's vision of the future war. Wandering around this desolate city with the destroyed buildings and constant lasers flying overhead in the pitch black of night really takes you by surprise. It looks exactly like the original war from the first Terminator movie. But what makes it all the better is the sound. The music and sound design is spot on here. With the way the HKs hover and screech overhead with its loud exhaust, the tank firing its huge lasers as it crushes over the debris on the road, even the weapons sound perfect, from the plasma weapons to the explosions. But my favourite is the shotgun. That sound is incredible. And of course, it's the same one that Kyle Reese uses against the T-800 in the club in the first movie. From the looks and the sounds, this demo really brings the nostalgia in just about every way. Now, there is no voice acting, so the small story sample we get here is done through text, which is fine. I just read the dialogue in Michael Bihn's voice, which worked out fine for me. Remember, this is still in early development, so voices will probably get added in a later date. So, like I said earlier, this is not just another generic shooter like Resistance or any of the other Terminator games out there. In this demo, it's all about being stealthy and avoiding the HKs that dominate the skies. Yep, just like the films. Every second you're out there, you're in danger. Never really given time to think as you run from cover to cover to complete the objective. This really got my heart racing as you're extremely underpowered and vulnerable to just about everything. The weapons are strong, but ammo is scarce, so knowing when to fight and when to hide becomes really important. I read that the developer wanted to make this game more in tone with something like Alien Isolation, where you are the one constantly under threat and easily punished if you're not careful. In many ways, I can see that. There's no way you can just run out and blow up these HKs like a badass and come back without a scratch. There's a lot more of an emphasis on sci-fi horror rather than action here. The amount of tries alone it took me to blow up that tank was ridiculous. But through many deaths, learning enemy movement, knowing when to use my bombs and staying hidden from the HKs when necessary, all paid off, and by the end it felt great. It was a struggle, and the relief when I finally took down that machine was amazing. Now there was some bugs of course. There was places where I got stuck and couldn't move, even some places indoors or under shelter wouldn't help, as the HKs would just shoot right through and still hit you. Jumping was also very stiff. A climb ability would be a huge help given the amount of debris lying around. But other than that, it played okay. Overall, if you're a Terminator fan, this is one you need to keep an eye out for. This is truly a faithful and respectful vision of the future war we've all desperately wanted over the years. I will leave links and details to the developers' websites and pages if you wish to support them, which I really hope you do. Honestly guys, check them out. What they're doing here is fantastic. If you want to support these guys, then I'll leave all the details in the description below. So for now, I'm going to stop talking and let you watch some uninterrupted gameplay, so you can see and hear how epic this demo is. Take care guys, and enjoy.